welcome back to Cher Rambles. I'm Cher, and I'm here to ramble about my ramblings. Actually, today I wanted to do my original first video for my beginner hiking series. Basically, I used some sources, but I compiled a list of terms, so I'm calling it the Hiker Glossary. And I wanted to go through them all. They're terms you may hear if you're new to hiking or haven't really... Maybe you've heard the term but didn't know what it meant, so I am here to shed some light on a few of them. Actually, there's a bunch of them. First up on the list is AT. AT is short for Appalachian Trail. It is a long-distance trail that goes through multiple states. You can either start in Georgia or you can start in Maine, so it just depends on if you are what we call a NOBO through hiker, which is northbound through hiker, that starts in Georgia and moves towards Maine, or if you're a SOBO hiker, which is a southbound hiker, and you start in Maine and work your way down to Georgia. It is the oldest long-distance trail in the United States. Next we have backcountry. It's basically the wilderness that's only accessible via a trail. You can't drive there or boat there. You can only travel there via footpath. Next is backpacking. Effectively, backpacking is hiking with at least the 10 essentials in a hiking pack on your back to be able to stay out multiple days. So you may have also heard the term day hiking. So day hiking is, you're still supposed to take your 10 essentials, but you're doing a trail that's only like a few hours. It's not like multiple days out on the trail. Base weight. So when we're talking base weight, we're talking about your pack itself, and basically it's your pack weight that is everything you plan on taking except for consumable items: food, water, and fuel. Bear bag or bear can. They're different things, but they do the same purpose. So basically it's a type of container used to store your food or items that have smell. They're used to prevent bears and other wildlife from getting into said containers. You may see bear bags that are just like a standard nylon bag or a Dyneema bag maybe that's hung up in a tree. They have newer ones that are made out of Kevlar, or I've seen one that's, I think it's Dyneema, but it's like a really, really thick Dyneema. And that one, those ones you tie around the tree, and the bear's like not supposed to be able to like get it off the tree or get into it that way. And then there's bear cans, which literally it's this big can, and they make various sizes of them. And you just put all your food in them, and you twist on the top, and it locks into place, so the bear can't get into it. At least the bear's not supposed to. However, I have heard rumblings that, like, in certain places, there's only certain bear cans allowed because those bears have learned how to open other kinds of bear cans. Which, to me, is pretty impressive, because if you've ever had to try to open, like, a Bear Vault bear can, they're not exactly nice to open. Bear spray. So, bear spray is a substance used to spray bears when they try to charge you, attack you, and it's used to deter them. Think of it kind of like mace for bears, I guess, is probably the best way to put it. If you choose to hike in a place there's bear activity, it may even be required for you to carry bear spray in certain places. Always have it readily available. Make sure you know how to use it. Like, you literally get like 2 seconds. Literally 2 seconds to get that thing ready to go and spray it in the bear's face. Make sure you are very prepared when you have to go into those places and use bear spray. May have to use bear spray. Do not keep it in your backpack. Do not put it somewhere where you can't get to it. You will not have time. There's plenty of hikers that have shared stories about people that have gotten attacked by bears. I highly recommend searching for those videos. I know Dan Becker has some. It's just insane how quick they are. One guy got attacked like 3 different times. It's insane. Anyway, always have it ready to go if you're taking it with you. The Big Three is another term. Big Three is effectively, it's a backpacking term, and it signifies your shelter, your sleep system, and your backpack. Those are your big main items that you use in the backcountry with you, or wherever you're hiking. Blaze. If you've been hiking at all, you may have seen them on trees. They're the little, it's like a colored mark on a tree. It's like a rectangle. It's like this. So marker usually on trees that direct you on where the trail goes. I've also seen ribbons hanging down from trees to mark you. I've seen signs. But yeah, blazes are pretty much those colored rectangles that are on the trees. A cairn. A cairn is another kind of way to direct you on the trail, but it's made in the form of a pile of rocks. They're usually in areas where there's no trees available, so they can actually make the mark. And they're typically found like on like mountains past the tree line. I could even imagine you seeing them in like the desert maybe. I don't know if that's really a thing, but I definitely know they're in mountainous areas where like past the tree line where the trees stop growing and you just have like grass and stuff and rocks. So they're mainly used there. Cat hole. Cat hole is very important in the Leave No Trace guidelines, which I do plan on doing a video on. So a cat hole is a hole that is dug 6 inches down, wide enough to do your business in. But basically it's created 6 inches down into the ground for you to be able to bury your waste if you have to use the bathroom outside. And we're talking the solid bathroom, not the liquid bathroom. It must be dug at least 200 feet, which is roughly 80 paces, away from camp, trails, and water sources. So make sure you're counting out 80 paces wherever you go to try to do that. Okay, CDT. The CDT is the Continental Divide Trail. It's a long distance trail that goes through multiple states, similar to the AT. It starts and ends in New Mexico, and it goes up through to Montana. So you go up through Colorado and all those states. To Montana, to the Canadian border. Cotton kills, or cotton is rotten. Cotton is not exactly a desired fabric in the backcountry, specifically when we're talking about apparel to wear when hiking, particularly in cold weather, because of the fact that it holds on to moisture and it doesn't let it go, but it also doesn't keep you warm when it's wet. So it doesn't wick moisture, and when you get wet in it, it makes you cold. And that can lead to hypothermia, which could lead to your death. So avoid cotton when you're out there, and just keep in mind that even in summer months, you can get hypothermia if it's cold enough and you're not warm enough. DWR. That stands for Durable Water Repellent. It is a chemical used to treat gear and clothing to make them waterproof. You will hear of Gore-Tex in a minute related to that. Gaiter. Gaiter, and we're talking leg gaiters, is a fabric that goes around your ankle, and it connects to your shoes or boots, footwear, to prevent dirt, snow, debris to get from getting into the shoe. They are amazing. I highly recommend getting some. And as I said before, Gore-Tex. Gore-Tex is a popular, or at least well-known, waterproofing chemical, and it is a type of DWR. Hike your own hike. HYOH for short. You may hear people say this, particularly in the backpacking community, when people are trying to tell each other like how to hike, basically, and they may say hike your own hike. It's meaning, you know, you hike your way, I'll hike my way. Focus on enjoying nature. Don't be telling other people how to be hiking. You know, I mean, obviously if they're doing something significantly wrong, maybe mention to them, hey, have you thought about doing this instead? But like, don't be rude or condescending, you know. So hotspot, not like your cell phone hotspot. Hotspot in the hiking world means it's effectively a precursor to a blister. So if you start feeling this, like especially in your feet, people get blisters a lot on their feet. If you start feeling like a painful burning sensation in a spot on your foot, like you're gonna get a blister, stop immediately and put something on it. Put moleskin on it, put Leukotape, that's what it was called, to help prevent it turning into a blister. Because trust me, you do not want to have a blister in your hike, especially if you're like on this like 3-day trip and you're on day 2. Okay? So make sure you stop and take care of hot spots immediately so you can avoid them turning into blisters. Leave No Trace. Leave No Trace is a collection of 7 principles on environmental responsibility when you're in nature. I will be doing a video on this that goes into a little bit more detail on. Basically, I'm going to go through all the 7 principles and all the kind of subsections within those 7 principles. Neck gaiter. Not to be confused with leg gaiter. It kind of does a similar thing though. So neck gaiter is a piece of fabric you wear around your neck. It's usually made out of polyester. There's also merino wool ones you can get. There's fleece ones you can get when it's really, really cold out. People wear them all year round. Like in the summer, it can be used to keep like dirt and like if you're in a really dusty area, maybe desert area, you can use it to like keep the dust and debris out of your face or out of your mouth and nose. And then in the wintertime, obviously you can use it to keep your nose and face warm. I personally use a merino wool one. I like it. It keeps my face warm. I just wish it wouldn't fog up my glasses so much. That would be nice. It's very important to keep your face protected from the elements. So it's always good to have, even if you just carry it in your pack, you know, as long as you have it with you, I think it'd be a good thing to carry. Also with gaiters, they can actually be worn several different ways. And I'm sure, maybe I can do a video on it sometime, but you can wear it as like a balaclava, you can wear it as just a hat, you can wear it just as like a scarf, obviously to cover your face with. There's 1,000 different ways to wear them. So they're really useful that way. Pack in, pack out. If you bring it into the indoors, take it back out. Take it back home with you. This is part of Leave No Trace. Any kind of garbage, wrappers, anything like that. We will get into that more probably in Leave No Trace. PCT. PCT is short for Pacific Crest Trail. It's a long distance trail that goes through multiple states again, and it starts and ends in California and Mexico. The California-Mexico border or the Washington-Canada border. So it goes up through California, up through Oregon, Washington to the Canadian border. R value. R value is a unit of measurement loosely used to calculate the warmth of a sleeping pad. The higher the number, the warmer it will keep you. Now, there's another term that goes along with that, which is called ASTM. That is a rigid standard that is used to provide a more accurate measurement of R value. So just to keep in mind, not all pads are ASTM rated, so it's good to find one that's ASTM rated because it's probably more likely to be accurate to the R value. Even then, there have been like pads that say like a R value of 4 that may not be quite a 4. So, but it does help narrow it down, if you will. I recommend at least having a 4. Just my personal opinion. 10 essentials. The 10 essentials are the 10 systems or pieces of equipment that are used to basically help you survive in nature when you are backpacking. I will be doing another video on the 10 essentials, and in that video I'll go through what each of them are. So look forward to that in the future. Through hike. A through hike is the entirety of a long distance trail, such as the AT or the CDT or the PCT, now that we know what they are. A person that either completes it, or usually even one that's attempting to complete one, they call them through hikers, or they're referred to as through hikers. Trail angel. Along with those long distance trails, we have trail angels, which are people who provide support to a through hiker on the trail. It's usually people that do it free of charge. They may set up in a parking lot and have food and water and stuff for the hikers to have, and maybe even gear items or stuff they might need. Maybe they give them toilet paper or stuff like that. And there's no real like standard on what they provide. It may just be hot dogs they give you, or it could be a whole variety of things. So it just depends on the trail angel themselves. But they are always appreciated. Always thank them. Along with that is trail magic. So the goods and services that trail angels provide you is called trail magic. You never know when you're going to get it, but it's probably at the time you need it the most. Usually is about when it pops up for people. That's why they call it magic. Trailhead, the beginning of a trail. You may have already figured that one out or know that one, but you know, it's always good for people that really don't know anything about hiking to know even the basics. Trekking poles. Typically, they are adjustable poles, and they have loops that go around your wrists, and you hold them and you use them to help you with hiking. I actually do have another video I'm going to be putting out. It's kind of like a little like comfort item video, and one of those items is trekking poles, so I'll go into them more in that video. Triple Crown. Triple Crown is completing the AT, the CDT, and the PCT. There is also something called the calendar year Triple Crown, which means that somebody attempts to, or does complete, which there are people that have done it, complete all 3 trails in 1 year. Vitamin I. Vitamin I is a nickname for ibuprofen. Very popular when you're hiking. I myself am a big vitamin I user. Don't leave home without it. Also, another item in my cover item video. And finally, we have Wag Bag. Wag Bag is a system used to pack out solid human waste. I know it's used primarily like in desert areas or areas that are like under like severe environmental protection because they don't want you disturbing any of the organisms in the ground there. So you'll use a wag bag to do your business in, and then you will pack that out. So we've come to the end of the list. I hope you got some sort of knowledge, information out of this video. If you know of any other any other terms that you would like to add to the list, I am happy to add them. I am going to try to make this available to everybody, so look for it in the comments. But yeah, that's all I have for now, and I hope you all have a great day. Thanks for letting me ramble. Bye!